If one of your goals is to stay more consistent in your planner throughout the year, then this is the video for you. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Julie. I talk about all things planning, creative planning, simplified planning, pretty much a whole lot of planning. So today we're going to talk about how to stay consistent in your planner in the upcoming year. I feel like as we enter the new year or anytime we are starting a new planner, we're trying to figure out ways to truly stick with it. Because let's be real, a lot of the creative planning side of things in our community is more of a hobby, and sometimes, life gets in the way and it can be really hard to keep up with your planner or your journaling system. So today I'm going to provide you with a few helpful tips to help you stay consistent in your planner. So the first one is just get off the internet. No, I'm completely kidding. I think that what happens when we spend a little bit more time online looking at other people's planners, we can start that whole comparing what everyone else is using or how they're using their planner or their journaling system. And you suddenly have convinced yourself that what you're using isn't working, right? Because theirs looks better. And that's not normally the case. It's that you've just kind of neglected your planner because you're too busy looking at everyone else's planner. But that's not to say that you can't ever look at other people's planners. I do this all the time. I'm looking for inspiration when I'm just feeling like a little bit disconnected with my system. I will go online, I'll go on Instagram. I've created all kinds of saved folders for different types of planners. This way, when I'm just like, I want to switch things up, but I want to stay consistent with what I'm using, then I can go to those folders and all of those saved photos that I've been kind of hanging on to and kind of throw myself my own lifeline. I don't want to completely overhaul my system, but I want to stick with it and I want to feel like I'm doing something new and fresh. So while I say stay off the internet, I also say just look at that content with a little bit more intention and maybe don't make any rash midnight decisions or purchases. I might be speaking from so much experience on this one. And while we're on the topic of online and what we consume and how that can affect how we stay consistent in our systems, I think one way that online can be a tool is to maybe follow accounts that are currently using a system or a system similar to what you are currently using. That'll constantly keep that reminder hey, this is your system, this person also happens to be using it, and they may have ideas for that same system. I know that I do this. I'm currently looking at Personal Rings. Do not judge me. But with that being said, I am now looking at more accounts for inspiration using Personal Rings or Hobonichi Cousin or the Erin Condren Life Planner, whatever you want to use. Or maybe you're in a phase where you want to use a ton of stickers, so you start following accounts that also use a lot of stickers. Maybe you're in a phase of your planning where you want to use kind of in between, not too many stickers, but you don't want to give up your stickers. You can find accounts that do just the same. And it's great to follow those accounts to continue to keep those planner juices flowing. Why did I say that? Essentially just helps you not be bored with the current system that you're in. And that's all that we're trying to do, right? We don't want to keep having to buy a different planner because we get bored every 2 weeks. Again, probably talking to myself here. One of my favorite tips about staying consistent with your planning or journaling system is to keep your planner near you. It sounds so basic. I completely get it. But right now, ask yourself, do I know where my planner is at this very moment? Could I reach for it? Is it within arm's length? If suddenly I got a phone call about a doctor's appointment, do I have the ability to put it in my planner? Sometimes I can say for myself, no, it's not always near me, so I pop it in my phone. But then I have a system in place where at least every other day I'm making sure that the calendar on my phone coordinates with what's in my planner so that I don't miss any important doctor's appointments, any important meetings, any Zoom calls, things like that. And while we're on the topic of keeping your planner near you and knowing its actual location, also have your core set of supplies near you at all times. There's nothing worse than thinking that your system doesn't work and it's just because you don't have the tools that you normally use near you. Do you even know where those are right now? try to keep like a small pouch. It's like a standing pouch where I just keep like the core things that I know I have been using day in and day out now for several months, and it's usually right next to my planner on my desk or on the kitchen counter or in the living room where I tend to sit and plan and have everything on a side table, but they're always kind of like a connected pair. It's just part of the system, the planner and then the tools that go with it. So always keep your planner and your tools nearby. And one of my favorite ways to stay consistent with your planning system is to make it a part of your routine, whether that's in the morning when you have your cup of coffee, when you get into the office, at work, and you're sort of coordinating a work calendar and a home calendar, all of those things. Make it a habit, an actual habit that is a part of your routine to check in with your planner regularly. When you're checking in with your planner regularly, you're actually using it, you're actually utilizing it as a tool to help you in your day-to-day life. And when you check in with it, it's a useful tool. And when you find something that's useful and add value to your life, you're going to be able to stay consistent with it because it is working. So if you have taken the time to try everything that I've suggested previously and you're still like, I can't stay consistent, I have the itch to switch, trust me, I get it, then take a moment to kind of sit down and maybe make a list and figure out what's working and what's not working. Because the worst thing that could happen is that you go from one system that you can't seem to stay consistent in and you hop over to another system that is literally going to give you the same issues that you currently have. And you're just going to continue the cycle and wonder why you can never find a planning system that works for you. So maybe take a couple of minutes and jot down a list of pros, cons, what's working, what's not working, what you need, what your system currently is not helping you with, where are you struggling? And who knows, maybe after you've taken a moment to jot down all of those things, you'll realize maybe you don't need to switch. Maybe it's where it's lacking is in the routines that you have with your planner, or you can't find your planner. You don't know where your supplies are. They're just everywhere. I get it. I have been there. But for me, over the last decade of being in this planner community, I realized that these are some of the best ways to truly stay consistent in the system that I'm currently loving and that is actually working for me. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I know that it was short and sweet. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know how you stay consistent in your planning system, and let me know if any of these tips were helpful for you. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're already subscribed, make sure you click that notification bell so that you know when my videos are posted here on YouTube. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone. Okay.